Gang, welcome to a episode of why we started TCT. I kind of realized the other day that we hadn't really had a backstory on why the hell TCT exists. So here it is. But effectively, like one of the biggest things that I saw when I was a fitness coach, was mentorships that didn't really they weren't really for the fitness coach. And this sounds like really like cliche, right? But when I was a fitness coach, I wanted something or someone to tell me exactly what to do, how to do it, what to post, what systems to have, and like that didn't really exist when I was a fitness coach. So for those who do not know me, I am Jack Rayner. Amazing beard, quite funny. But I used to work in a 9 to 5 role. I was a engineer. Um, I was gonna say CNC engineer. Everyone's like, "What's that?" Then I have to explain it, but just type it in. It'll be fine. I was obsessed with fitness. I like when I used to get home from work, I used to watch YouTube like 24/7. When I was an engineer, all I had in my ear the whole day was fitness podcasts. Like I was obsessed with fitness, and it might be similar to you right now, where you're just obsessed with everything, which is great. You need that. Um, but I hated my 9 to 5 more than anything else in the whole entire world. Like I hated it. I got to a position where I was looking at 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds, and they were like counting down the days until they were retiring. And I kind of got to around 23, 24, and I was just like, I do not want this for my life. I want something larger. I invested in the notorious level 2 and level 3 personal training qualifications, and it was great. It just didn't teach me anything. And that's kind of like still to this day, still a thing. Um, but it is what it is. Um, but I went straight into online coaching. Okay. And then for those of you who work 9 to 5s, um, you might be like, well, I want to go into personal training, and that's fine. Like we have people who obviously do that as well. But I just chose just going straight into online coaching because my niche was natural bodybuilding. I love lifting, as you can't tell. Not anymore. I used to.
We need the wide angle
Yeah, you need the wide
lens for
angle.
it.
Yeah. But as you can tell from my cap delts, yeah, like I still lucid train. But I kind of every single working hour, I was so focused on like I want to create impact. I want to be a part of the fitness industry, and online coaching at the time was like very new. Like
Mm.
back in the like when I was a fitness coach, it was really new. So I was like, right, okay, I know I want to do this thing. I don't know what it looks like, but I want to do this thing. So I started to post myself on social media. I started to post my training clips and all that crap
Mm.
on social media, and I didn't really know what I was doing. Okay, and there got to a point when I was trying to do this and nothing was working, until one very hot summer's day. I put a training plan on eBay. Do you know this?
Mm. I don't think you told me the story.
Yeah, I put a training plan on eBay and I got a sale from that. And it was my first ever sale as an online coach. And from that first ever sale until now, like like that feeling of like generating a sale online is like has never left me, even to this day, even with TCT. Like if I get a sale
Mm.
online, it's like some magical weird thing that's happened. It's like, what the fuck? Um, but effectively, like from that day, I was like, okay, this is how I'm gonna do things. Okay, so I kind of like structured out my online coaching program, and was still posting myself online, and nothing was really working there. Obviously, I had that sale, which is great, but like nothing really was happening there. And I was kind of like spinning my wheels, and that's kind of like where a lot of people with 9 to 5 get to, is they kind of like just post on social media. They have their 9 to 5, they're posting on social media, nothing's really working. Okay, so I decided that enough was enough. I'd done this for around like 9 to 10 months post, trying to post online. So that continuous cycle of just posting nothing, posting nothing. I decided to invest in a mentorship that was actually outside of the fitness industry, which was actually, in hindsight, one of the best things that I'd ever done. Um, And then lo and behold, things started to heavily shift. Okay. So I knew how to post, I knew how to market, how to create sales systems, like everything. Okay. I know that you're probably looking at this right now and you're thinking, like, I know I need to invest, but I'm scared. And I was too. Like, I'd never invested that amount of money in my whole entire life. But to this day, I still use the systems, like everything there, and I still use them skill sets that I learned, like what, all that time ago, whatever. Can't do maths. Um, but I suppose like from that moment onwards has been an absolute ridiculous cycle of scaling. Okay, and from that like initial like investment period all the way until like I was scaling my coaching business all the way into mentoring. It's been a never ending like I want to invest and reinvest, invest, reinvest, build a team, all that good stuff. Okay. But um to put into perspective, like in the space of about 3 years, I went from literally having nothing, one eBay sale, to consistently making about 80K a month. And it's kind of like, why does TCT exist? Why don't you just stick to that? And it was actually kind of a period of my life where I was looking at um what the mentors were doing within the fitness scene. Um, I'm being a little bit pissed off because the things that I was doing to grow my business were so different to what coaches were being taught. Like night and day difference. Um, so I was kind of like I loosely had this thing in my head of like I want to create impact within the fitness industry because it's given me a lot. Um, like how can I potentially build a almost an online coaching business for coaches? Okay. Um so I because the elevation was scaling so fast, I was asked a lot of questions through many coaches. They were like, why, like, how are you scaling so quick? And that's where it kind of turned into like consultancy. So if you were consulted with me like 3 or 4 years ago, like that would have been the inception of TCT. So it kind of loosely turned into consultancy. And then what we've done now is we've basically created an absolute monster, which is basically an online coaching variation of, I suppose, like, well, it's like a business mentorship, but it's also online coaching for your business. So we still have like the weekly check-ins, we still have like the program, which is like your monthly playbooks and stuff like that. So I'll stop talking. I'll let you guys go into it a little bit. But that's kind of like the backstory of like why TCT exists. It's effectively like I wasn't scaling, I wasn't growing. I invested a huge sum of money. I then started to grow. I then got asked a lot of questions about how am I growing, and that's kind of
Mm,
where this whole thing
mm.
started.
Yeah, I think it still happens now, doesn't it? Like that like you probably saw or had like that sour taste when you saw like what was going on, and we still hear about it and stuff now. Which is why we very much establish ourselves completely differently. And I think we almost hesitantly say mentorship because we don't like being like thrown in that same kind of category, which is why I like the way we sort of say like we're essentially an online coach for your online coaching business or coaching business in general. Um, and like the amount of people that come and like I'm just astounded at like it's almost like they go, wow, actually what you promise you actually deliver. And I think that comes down from the fact of like you knew what you needed, and it's just like you are providing that to the future coaches and the coaches that we're helping now. um and I think that's another thing that like to touch on is that you've been there. Like you grew the business from scratch whilst having a 9 to 5. You've done the mistakes, you've tried to do it yourself, you've invested, you see the value in what certain aspects of investment to yourself and your business can do for the business. And you've hit the snag point, you've hit the 5K point and then known what to do there, you've hit the 10, you've hit and so on. So it's almost like you've walked the walk. Like we tell all our coaches, like they're walking the walk themselves, like in their fitness journey. That's how you can relate to the people who want to go on the same journey, and that's exactly what you've done. Is like you've built the business, you've built a very successful coaching business, and it's almost now is like you're not it's not like you're paying it back, because obviously people are coming into the business and wanting our help, but then you're like willingly giving that advice and everything that you've learned over years, and with the massive amounts of investments, because that wasn't your only investment in these last few years, especially, is like you've further invested into improving various areas of the business and learning different aspects. And I think that's something to take credit for, is that like you don't sit there and think, oh, I know exactly how to do this, I know everything. Is like you are willing to learn even now, and then pass it down to the people who then can put it into action in their own business. So yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things that I see, is that like what we offer here is, what we say is on the tin type of thing you get, which fortunately isn't always the case.
Yeah, I think it's a weird like USP now. Like it's a very like I said this on my Instagram story the other day. It's a weird USP that the person that is on social media you kind of get in service.
Mm.
It's like
Mm.
that shouldn't be a that shouldn't be a massive USP, right?
Yeah, yeah,
It's
No.
like the person who is saying who is selling you into the thing, you're getting on the other side. Like
yeah, yeah.
that's not. This is like why I'm saying it's like online coaching for your business, because
You're
you
buying
like
it.
you do the same thing with your clients, right?
Mhm.
Like you're saying I can help you with your fitness journey, and then they pay you, and then on the other side you're the coach.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the same
It's
thing.
the
It's
same
obviously like
transaction.
just
Yeah.
for your business, right?
Hmm.
But obviously in a business sense, there's a lot of things that are super complex versus like a training plan and a meal
Yeah,
plan.
yeah.
There's a lot of variables at kind of like stake there, including life stress for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like I've spent a lot of money on mentorships, and I think the difference with TCT, as someone that's obviously on the inside as the team, is you don't, like Jack was saying, you don't sign up because you've seen a video of Jack and he goes, cool, here's my killer team. It's like you sign up with Jack and you go, right, this is what I'm going to do for you. Oh, by the way, meet the killer team as well. So it's like, rather than
Like
kind
an
of like
addition.
he gets you in and then you get shoved off to the team, and we are good at what we do and we work really hard. It is a case of like you get Jack, but then it's also this additional, by the way, your sales is this, your content is this, your community is this. It's just that support there is like quadrupled down, as opposed to just being a face that then sells you into a program. And I think the level of, I've said this on another video, as someone on the inside at TCT, I'm still astounded at the level of one to one, and
Mm.
like it's bred as a culture in the company, not just a you. It's not. It is a selling point, but it's not a selling point in the sense of what's going to make us money. We'll do this. It's like, no, this is who Jack is as a person. He wants to help, and businesses solve problems and success leaves clues. So like Jack has obviously built his business from the ground up and seen that. And then there was a turning point, which is a question I have for you, is like we talked in another video about people with 9 to 5s, and there will be a turning point where they have to leave their 9 to 5. You had a turning point where you're like, I have a very successful online coaching business, but I'm getting inundated with questions about how to build an online coaching business. Then there was would have been a point where you decided, why was the change to come into this?
Yeah, I think being like from an engineering background, like when like because I still like I liked engineering, I just didn't like the like 9 to 5 bracket. Um, I didn't want to do it for the rest of my life, but I liked problem solving. So like every day was a bit of a like a right, okay, this is happening. Why is this happening? And then you're always like you're in that kind of like regard, which is great. But like being in a being a fitness coach for me no longer had the like level of fulfillment. Like I'd basically took hundreds of people to stage. I transformed hundreds of people's lives. Um, I'd built be built a team around that as well. Like, and it kind of got to the point where like people were asking me questions about something, and there was like that like brain kick that like when someone asks you a question, there's like, oh wow, actually I can think about it, because like if someone comes to you and they're like, oh yeah, I'm not losing weight, you're like, okay, do this, do this, do this, and you've done it so many times that it's just like it's a mundane
Mm.
question, and I kind of got bored with like the same of like um I can't feel my lats. It's like,
Mm.
cool. Like, and it's kind of weird probably hearing it from your aspect, because you're probably like, I love it. And it's like, that's cool. That's probably why you're a fitness coach and I'm here, right? But I think notoriously, like, I got to a point where I was so obsessed with business, and even now to this day, like everything that I do and everything that I learn is business focused. Like I am obsessed with building a business, the systems around it, like everything around it. Like I live and breathe it, right? Um, so it kind of got to the point where I was like asking all of these kind of like, or being asked all of these questions, and it then obviously working, and it's like I can obviously problem solve. It's I'm giving them direct feedback, and it's working, and then all of a sudden, like their businesses are changing, and like for me, like, it's kind of always been about like helping people and like impact. So like if I can help you and you're a coach who's sitting at 0 clients and you go and get 40 clients, like I can help you go and get 40 clients, and then a coach might be here, like who you coach, and they can go and help 40 clients, and it's kind of like this never-ending like tree of
Yeah.
like impact, and you go and help 40 clients and they go and help 40 clients, and there's this like massive like almost like a nuclear bomb, right, that's going off, which is cool. Because like we've directly helped over 600 coaches, like out of that, say for example, like people have gone for 100 clients, 30 clients, like we've directly impacted like thousands of people, and I don't think I'd have been able to do that with
Fitness coaching.
fitness as
Yeah.
much. So in that regard, like that's kind of why I do it. But yeah, I guess I my brain was on fire when people were asking me questions, and then also like I can have more impact in this sector
Mm.
versus being a fitness coach, and also I can give back to the fitness industry because like the fitness industry has directly like changed my life. Like I was in a job that I really didn't like, and all I could think about was getting out of it and going into the fitness. I mean, you knew me when I was like in the 9 to 5 role, and I hated every single second of it.
Mm.
It was yeah, it was endless YouTube videos. It was
Mm.
training plans. It was trying new workouts. It was we used to go to gym together and
Mhm.
try different things, and we'd try different gyms. And I'm coming over to St Ives and training with you on a Saturday and stuff because it had to be around work and whatever. And
Mm.
yeah, it was yeah. I think you've always had that just like I can't even think of the word, just insatiable drive to learn. And I see that obviously as a friend of 18 years, but now being in TCT for 6 to 12 months is like every week it's like it's the acceptance that things will go wrong, but it's the never ending pursuit to put them right, which is the problem solving you reference, right?
Mm.
Because my dad did CNC milling, and I remember when you were going into it, I was like, I just remember how miserable he was. And I was thinking, geez, like he's like 50 and miserable. You're like 20. It's
And
like
miserable.
I'm miserable.
Still am miserable.
He's still a miserable bastard, but yeah. But no, it's just that never ending pursuit to solve problems, and it's you can see that the spark is there,
Mm.
and you can see that, and it's been great to be a part of that in a small capacity as well.
Mm.
Like you're saying, you one of the reasons I like to do this is because you then if you help one coach get better and they train, you've technically played a part in that, and then it's never ending, right? There's 8 billion people on this planet you could potentially help.
Yeah, and like like getting a text like I hit 100 kilograms on a bench press, like compared to like, dude, I've hit like a 10 grand month.
Yeah, I've paid
Like
off all
that
my debts.
that level of like that level of like satisfaction, like even to this day, like if I genuinely, if I get a text that says I hit a 7 grand month and blah 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 blah
Mm.
blah, I'm able to take my family abroad, like I
Yeah.
still to this day
Well,
get
that's
that.
like one of the big culture things that we have is we celebrate every win with a coach, and I think that's for them to feel good, but it's also for us
Yeah.
because like whether it's like just sign my first client, we still get that buzz of like
Mm.
get in, yes,
Yeah,
like
we
the
talk
same way.
internally, don't we? When
Yeah,
someone we've done a lot of work to help someone that it felt like they were banging their head against the wall for a long time, and they finally get that win. As a team, we kind of collectively go like, "Fuck yeah!" Like we managed to help that person, and I think that celebration has never really gone, has it?
no, I think it's just that that it's almost like Jack started that culture, and then it just trickles into the team, doesn't it? So
Yeah, I mean, like I think like one of the again what like why we started this was to obviously help fitness coaches scale, and we wanted that level of one-to-one support. We wanted this whole like narrative around business mentors being wanky. Like that's probably never going to go away, but we wanted to be like the people that you go to for help who want to genuinely help you.
mhm.
We've always wanted to be that, and that sounds really fucking cheesy, but like genuinely, that's why I started TCT, and that's like why we are. one, like we're building a reputation for being the go-to in the
Yeah,
UK at the minute,
yeah.
which is fantastic because we're getting results. We have that care, but like one of the biggest reasons why you should pick TCT instead of another mentorship is like, do you want to scale? Do you have a clear passion for fitness? And do you want a level of one sport? Like, if you have all of that, then we have basically every
Everything.
single system that you'll ever need to do that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
100%.
Yeah, I had a friend message me the other day, and he said, he's like, I keep seeing this ad for TCT, and I saw that you're doing some stuff, and is it good? And I said, look, I wouldn't attach my name to it if it wasn't good. And I think that's also reflected in Jack. Jack would never put anything out, would never do anything if it wasn't 100% the best possible thing that he could give you in
Hmm.
that moment. And that is reflected whether it's sunny, raining, cold, wet, doesn't matter the weather, doesn't matter how he feels, doesn't matter how good his voice is after doing
64 reels in a
60
day.
back-to-back one-to-one calls. I think there was one day you text me like, I got 37 calls today, and I'm like, how is that possible? But it's
Starts at
like the
2 a.m.
level of support is, even as the team expands, is never about taking Jack away from the essence of TCT. It's always about helping to enable him to be even better at that.
Yeah.
Because then that collectively for the clients, the results that we get, it shows. It really does show. And as someone that has been in so many mentorship programs, it really is different. And I
Mhm.
think the one-to-one support, I remember you used to tell me like, yeah, we're one-to-one, and I'm like, okay, cool, like one-to-one PT, whatever. Like, but then you get into it and you're like, oh, fuck, like there's thousands of messages a day
Mm.
being
Yeah,
like just read
yeah,
through.
you're in some of the chats as well.
I mean, some,
Yeah,
not all of the ones
yeah.
that Jack's in. It really is like however that coach is feeling and what they're thinking and the support that they need, and that varies so much for 160 plus clients or whatever. Like they all need different things. They all have different niches, and whatever's changing, but that level of service is always there,
Mhm.
no matter who's in the business, no matter what we're doing, whether we're a team or whether you're just working with one of the coaches in the team. It's that level of support
It's always there.
is always there, but it does come from a genuine place. 'Cause I know you were in Jack's coaching company when you, so
Mhm.
you met him, and you've then
Yeah.
kind of upgraded and come through into this. Like Jack and I, we used to go to gym together when we were teenagers. Like I know that the team is really cohesive, and the team really comes from. Like you sent us around like the culture and core values of the business, and you sent it. I read it, and I was like, yep. That's literally it.
Yeah.
And I think it comes from the ground up with Jack very much leading at the top, and like you said, he's not someone that sells you in with the videos and then passes you off to a
No.
semi-average team that he pays on commission to just deal with it. It's very much we have a weekly team meeting. There are other meetings going on constantly to how do we sort this? What's the process for that? Who needs help? How do we improve this? It is just a never-ending pursuit of, which is why I wanted to get involved, because I was like, this is something that I want to be involved with because it's just never-ending.
Yeah,
Mm.
and I think that a lot of like people coming into the industry at the moment, especially like younger like business mentors, is always like, I want to make X amount of money, and I like I want to be the business mentor with a Lambo and stuff like that, and it's just like that's great, but that's not us. Like
Yeah.
we want to be as far away from that shit as possible,
Mm.
because like our whole thing is like we want to help you get out your 9 to 5. We want to help you get out of the rat race of the gym floor, or if you're just stuck, you're a stuck online coach. Like we want to help you scale, and that's our core principle and value. And also like we get like shit tons of referrals.
Mm.
Like we get a lot of referrals, and the reason why as a business model we get referrals, and the reason why we like that is like we help a coach, they go and get 5 other people, and we have to work less on marketing,
Mhm.
which is great our end. But the reason why we get referrals is we're good.
Yeah. No one going to refer a shit service, are they?
Mm.
So that's
Yeah.
why is they're in something like shit. This is great. I need to tell people about this, so they go and do that.
I think
That'd be-
Tammy's recommended like 7 coaches.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
Even Mark Segi's had a few from his
Yeah.
gym as well.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
They're all coming from same spaces, which is testament to the program and the service offering. I think, like Joe said, it you wouldn't recommend a shit mechanic if they broke your car. You would never recommend them.
No.
But if you found a mechanic that fixed everything with your car at a fair value, you would tell everyone you knew about it. You know,
Mhm.
it's the same for this industry, and I think, like you said, it's really sad that the USPs have to be what they are. It
Mm.
shouldn't be that the USP is that they actually
get
get
the
you,
person,
that it's
yeah.
actually a proper one-to-one service. Like that should be just so, because that's what everyone is selling.
Mhm.
but then there's a difference between selling and actually delivering, because it's hard, right? It's really hard, the work that we do.
Mhm.
It's never ending, but it's why we're in it, but it's also why other people don't do it.
Mm.
Yeah, for sure. So why you should pick TCT? Because we fucking care, and that sounds really cheesy, but like we want to help you win. We want to help you build the business of your dreams. Because again, the fitness industry has given me a lot. So yeah, that's us.
And if they want to get involved, Jack,
Click the link in the bio. You can go to our webpage. You can fill in our application form. You can hook up on a call, and then we can see whether you're a good fit. If you are, we can obviously scale your business. If not,
Mm.
Yeah.
You lose nothing by inquiring.
exactly.